Okay, we're live. Well, it is December 18th, 2025, and it's been a while since I did an update on camera. So I thought I'd show you or talk to you about where it's at right now. And it's Nina just left for Bangkok. She has a friend who works at a spa shop in Bangkok who convinced her that maybe she could make more money going to work at her shop in Bangkok. So she left on November 22nd. So it's been about almost a month. Anyways, so far not good. she she got sick, so she's guaranteed 12,000 baht per month, which is $350 or so. And that's 400 per day times how many, 30 days would be 12,000. So, and then if she makes 150 baht per hour, which is her cut, they charge 600, they pay her 150, pocket the profit for expenses. So she was good for the first 10 days. They pay her every 10 days, or on the 11th day, they pay her for 10 days. And so I said, you should just ask him for 400 every day because you don't have anything to live on unless I send you money. She took some with her. She had at least 10,000 something baht. So once I found out that she had that, I thought, okay, no problem. But she kept asking for a little here, a little there. First 10 days passed. I said, are you getting paid on the 11th day? She said, no, I asked them to pay me every day because I didn't have any money. Oh, okay. That sounds good now that I know that's what was happening. So hopefully you still got some savings because I know you're paying your niece and nephew every day, 100 each. So 200 per day. If you make 400, there goes 200. So you end up with 200 times 10. That's 2,000 baht, about $60. So anyway, she's inching along. And then 10 days ago, which would be on the 8th of December, about 10 days, 14 days in, 2 weeks in, she gets sick with what sounded to me like a strep throat. She was talking like this and coughing. And so she went to it took her about 3 days to realize how serious it was. It sounded like strep throat or something like that. And she went to the doctor. Doctor gave her some medicine, probably antibiotic. And then she went to the Chinese herbal store and got some Chinese herbal medicine. So she's taken both of them. And here we are 10 days later, on her 10th day, actually, and she's still coughing. Her voice is okay now. It was pretty far gone for most of it. And she's staying with a friend, I think her friend, the one that invited her there, who has a room nearby she stays at. And she's been staying with her pretty much that whole time because they didn't want her to be coughing or sick around customers, even though she stays on the second level in a separate room from where the massage is. So there's a divider, a wall, a door. And but I guess, if you can hear somebody coughing in the next room, it doesn't fare too well for the business. So she moved out into her friend's whatever place and was paying her 300 baht per night and not earning any money, of course, during this last 10 days. So I've been sending her money. I'm down to about $5,500 because I loaned our friends at the nearby food shop that I've loaned money to before, and they have paid it back every week for as long as it took to pay everything back. So they're totally trustworthy. But Nina said they need more because they can't pay their rent. They're low. So I said, okay, if you pay the bills, 10,000. You got the money from your friend, 10,000 that owed me the money, but she kept it. I said, okay, fine, keep it. You need it. It's only $300 or less. And so she had her friend's money. I paid the bills, 10,000, including her rent for 3,500, 6,000 here, 500 for her power bill. So I'm down to 20 from the 31 that I get, 31,000 from Social Security. I'm down to 21. She says, "Can you loan 10,000?" Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I can handle being on 10,000 a month. I've given Nina a couple thousand, so I have 8,000. But they're paying me back, every week 1,000. So this is the second week. So I'm okay. I'll make it through the end of the month, which is in about 13 days, and a couple of days after that. So about 2 weeks before I get paid again. All I have to worry about is food, a little water downstairs, and that's nothing. So I'm doing okay. Nina's still sick. Since I reported 9 months ago on the last video, I had a tooth extracted on the right side. Looks like the left, but it's the right side. And it was a molar with 2 roots. And it just one day just suddenly just started hurting like hell. I couldn't bite on anything. I couldn't. So I went in. I said, what are my options? They said, well, you get a root canal. How much? 10,000 or more, maybe 15. And how much to pull it? Well, we'll see. And it was hurting so bad, I figured I don't know if I can save this one or not. So they pulled it, but it was a 90-minute operation with, of course, injections of painkiller. And oh my God, they were like pushing down on it. Even though it was numbed out, they were pushing down into the jawbone. And I was like, why are you pushing down so hard? And they're like, I couldn't say anything, like that. So they finally got it out. It was a capped tooth. So they took the cap off, eventually just sawed it off with whatever, pulled the cap off, and then got to the roots because they could not get it out as one piece. They tried and tried, but finally they said, okay, we have to take it out piece by piece. It came out in at least 5 pieces. Each root was busted in half. They pulled each one. Then they sewed it up, and it was hurting all week long after that. So I didn't know. I went in. I said, what's going on? They said, oh, you got an infection. Oh, great. So they undid the sutures. I was supposed to get them out that day. They undid the sutures, cleaned it out down to the jawbone, and sewed it back up again. And so after that, I think it was good after that. It took about a month to kind of calm down. But then what I had is I had a loose tooth right next to it that I bit onto something at the restaurant, and it was a piece of bread with avocado, and it was like really tough and like hard to break off. Broke off part of my tooth, so they fixed that. But now now it's the tooth's very sensitive when I bite down on it because I'm missing the molar. It kind of was maybe protecting it. So I went in twice after that in the first, not in the first month, and in the second month. And they shaved off part of that lower tooth. It's pretty small. It's kind of down, but it was some part of it in the back was sticking up and colliding with what was coming down on top. So it hurt. And it was loose from all that yanking and pushing down and swiggling. So they loosened that tooth while they were doing that. That wasn't enough. So I said, okay, I think it's on the upper tooth where the part of the tooth is pointing down, connecting with that loose tooth. So they shaved that one off. And after that, it's been good for the last couple months. So even though it's loose and occasionally I'll bite into something that kind of, it'll hurt if it's a nut or something hard, or it's hard to chew. Of course, I favor the other side, but I try to get them both involved. Anyway, so I got one tooth out up here, one tooth out down here. So that's 2 tooths gone. And hopefully I can save that loose tooth without doing any more damage. If that comes out, I'm going to consider a possible, not maybe a bridge, because the back tooth is okay. There's only 1 tooth back here. And it'll connect to the strong tooth if the loose tooth has to be pulled. So I can get a bridge there. Probably be the cheapest way to go. And that connects the 2 strong teeth and gives you something to chew on. Or I can go to Vietnam and get one of those teeth that they put in and screw into your jawbone. For $360, which is like, it's usually like $1,200 to $1,500 per or more if you're in the US or Canada or somewhere. So I have that option. Hopefully that special rate still applies if I need to go there. Anyway, that's so much for that. Other than that, health problems, not really. Prostate is good, still working after it failed me the first day I was here over a year ago. So I get up at night to go pee once, sometimes more. But sometimes I sleep through the whole night. So it's a toss-up. I take melatonin just because I don't produce enough now, because I've been taking melatonin for so long that my gland up here between the two hemispheres of the brain, I forget the name of it right now. Anyway, it's probably kind of atrophied because I've been feeding myself the melatonin every, just 3 milligrams. Puts me to sleep, helps me to sleep at least 4 or 5 hours, and then I get up and then go back to sleep, usually without taking anything else. The only other medicine I'm on is the for my thyroid that I had out 12 years ago. They found out I had a nodule that was cancerous. Anyway, that's my health situation. 1 medication, not anything but a replacement of what was there before. And so I'm in pretty good health. I swim every day. I walk, but not enough. I walk to the store. We have a new store over here on the other side of the condo that I'm facing when I look out the window. And it's called Go Wholesale. It was like 6 to 8 months in process being built. It was just an empty lot before that. So now it's a 5-minute walk to get out to the main street and a little bit over to the left and then go into the store. And that's where I do most of my shopping now. They have everything I could want probably, except occasionally, like I went yesterday to go look for sardines to make sardine and avocado sandwich. So I got the avocado, but a bag of small avocados. Paid $3 or something for like 8 of them. They're all good so far. And went over to look for sardines, and here's the canned fish aisle. And I went down the end. It's like, not a damn can of sardine that has just oil. It's all tomato sauce, which I don't like. So I ordered something online yesterday. It's coming today. It's just a regular can of sardines and vegetable oil. I'll use the oil as well as the sardines because it's soaked up some of the omega 3s. And I'll try that out today, hopefully. Otherwise, I'm, living on mostly my favorite foods. I get salmon, but it's from Norway. It's not wild caught. And I get the minced beef or ground beef as it is at the store. And I pay $3 for a little, chunk of that, and I can make 3 hamburgers and plus leftovers for spaghetti sauce in my spaghetti sauce. So I'm paying next to nothing for that. Salmon, same thing. I cut it into 3 or 4 pieces depending on how the size, and I might pay $6 for it, six something. But if I have three sections of it, that's $2 a piece. That's all I want. That's all I need as far as protein goes. So I miss my wife. It's a bit lonely. I have a new friend that moved into the condo, so he keeps me busy. He calls every day to talk. His name's William. He's a medic from Boston, Massachusetts, who moved to Thailand 15 years ago. So he's been here quite a while. He's about 50 something now, 50 something, 58 maybe. So he was in his early 40s when he left the USA. He said, I just wanted to get out. It's crazy then. It's even crazier now as far as costs. He's a medic making 30 plus an hour, and he couldn't afford to buy anything. So he was renting an apartment, sold everything, got offered a job before he left for 100 plus thousand, health related, in the hospital he worked for or at as a medic and going out on emergency calls. And he said, no, I just want to get out of here. So he came here. I don't know. I'm sure he's had a wife or a girlfriend, and then that broke up. Yeah, he broke up once, staying in a condo not too far from here in Rayong. And so he got a new girlfriend now as of about 3.5 years ago. She developed cancer of the colon, or something to do with the digestive system, the digestive tract. If not the colon, the intestines, it's not And so she carries a colostomy bag around because they took out part of her colon. And he helped her through that whole thing for the last 3 years. So I'm sure that was difficult. She's fine. She's cancer-free now. Spunky little Thai gal in her 40s, probably. And he's heavy set. He eats a lot of junk food and has coffee all day long and puts a ton of sugar in it. It's like, William, slow down on the coffee and the sugar. He's diabetic too. So it's like, what the hell are you doing? But he says, yes, yesterday or the day before, he said, I was really sick, throwing up 20 times and couldn't sleep that night. I said, it could have something to do with your coffee intake with sugar, heavy sugar, and you're diabetic. So what's that do? I checked my blood sugar. Everything's okay. No problem. Okay. Well, to each his own, right? I ate brownies. I like brownies from the Gold Sale. And I'll have a couple of those every day. It's dark chocolate. But it's sugar, and flour, whatever they use to make it. But so far, I'm handling it okay. I'm not getting sick. I'm not feeling too weak or anything. And but it's it's lonely without Nina here. I have to be honest. And no massage. I'm doing fine. I can if my neck or shoulders hurts, I just find a spot okay, that hurts, or my shoulder muscle right there, the one they operated on before. I can work that out. I mean, it's no longer a problem after I work on it for a while and stretch, a little bit of stretching. And I'm doing a little yoga, a little not tai chi, qigong, just simple stuff, and maybe Pilates once in a while. Not every day, but if I feel like I need to do more stretching, I'll tune in on my TV right behind me. I think it is, yeah, right there, and watch. There's hundreds of videos. You can just sit in your home. I put out the mat that's sitting right here. We put that out, or else I use my yoga mat, a big mat and a yoga mat, and no problem. Standing, laying down, whatever. So that's all the news from Lake Wobegon here in Rayong, Thailand. I want woe to be gone, so I talk to Nina every day and check in with her, make sure she's hopefully getting better, getting well. Not quite there yet. She says a couple more days. She wants to stay there through mid-February, which is like November 22nd. It's almost 3 months, about 2.5 months. It's been gone a month, so another month and a half. She's going to come back when I'm scheduled to go into immigration, February 15th next year, this coming year. And other than that, I signed up for English as a foreign language course. It was on sale for $34, 120 hours, they say. It was just, you go in, you do the modules. I can do a module in less than an hour. There's 10 or 12 modules. So after a couple of weeks of 2 or 3 weeks of doing that, 1 hour plus a little bit per day, I finished the course, took the quiz, failed the quiz, even though I had all the notes with me that I'd taken, the basic notes, nothing extensive. And I was checking them to kind of try to figure out the answers. The 66 questions. I only got 60%. So this time I went over everything again, each module, took more extensive notes, waiting for my friend Timothy from Uganda, who I had invested money with. He's an English teacher, and so I figured, well, would you come over and look at my answers before I turn them in the second time? He said, okay. So later this week, it's now Wednesday, maybe on Saturday or Sunday, I can catch him with an hour free, and he'll come over and help me with my answers. I'll do the quiz first before I call him in and see what he thinks of my answers. So yeah, I had to liquidate my investment with him. It was 200,000 baht, $6,000. In order to get the money back in my Bangkok bank account, I need 400,000 back in there. I had 200 when I invested 200 with him, and I've been getting by, but it had gone down. So we invested in gold. So we got 1 baht of gold, which was 55,000 baht, which is $1,400, whatever, or 1,500 or 1,600, whatever it was, because the price of gold was 3,200 at that point, or 3,100. So we held on to that just for 2 months just to see what that was like. Turned it in, made $150 maybe on a half an ounce of gold. It went up a little from where we bought it, from 3,600 up to 41 something. So it was only $150 total when we cashed it in. Anyway, it's back in there. I'm living on my Social Security. That's $950 a month, and paying all the bills here, including Nina's shop, and have enough left for food. And I'm not using my motorcycle, so it's sitting there. Moved it out of the sun since it was starting to fade and rust a little bit. And here I am. Still in Rayong at the condo, swimming every day, out sunshine, bright sunny day right now, blue skies, 85, 90 degrees. The water's warming up. It was cold there for a while. And I've gone to the ocean one time, and the water was warmer, but it's dirty. You can tell. I had to wear my mask, use my snorkel so I didn't have to take in any water, or not much, a few drops. And I'll go back every once in a while for that. It's just not a flat beach with the water coming in. It's got rocky outcrops, big, huge rocks piled up to break the waves. And so it only comes in one area. And then you have the whole inside area. It's kind of like a cove to swim back and forth on. So that's our beach. Anyway, I think I've covered it all that I wanted to cover. And thank you for tuning in and listening. Let me know if you have any comments. I'd love to see some comments. Okay. Sawadee Kap. Prayer to you and yours. Hope all is well. See you next time. Bye for now.